What teammate, you had a bunch of teammates, like a bunch of all-star teammates, Hall of Fame teammates. What teammate that you took something from that stuck with you for your career, that you was like, I took that from him and it was great advice and I always remember that?
A couple things. One was more tactical in nature, which was Eddie Jones, and he taught me how to chase guards around screens off the ball. So I kept getting hit with screens on the ball. And he taught me how to shadow him.
He was sick at that.
He was great. He would trail behind you, trail behind the outside shoulder, and then once you get around the pick, he body up the hip and then slide between.
Slide right through that door.
Yeah, so he taught me that. That helped me out a lot, and I used that forever. Gary Payton as well taught me how to get through screens on the ball. You know, so I think those two tactical things. Yeah, because getting hit with ball screens is like the worst feeling for a guard when you're guarding the ball. And so he taught me how to move up into the ball handler, make yourself thin, and then slide through the screen. Yeah. So those are the two things that I take with me.
Do you think like our era was so competitive that we weren't giving no secrets out? Like this era is like, you know, it's so freely, they so friendly, but like we never got a chance to sit down and have conversation with each other because we were so competitive, but it always was a respect factor there. Yeah. And like, you didn't know, I didn't grow up in the era, I grew up in the era where you just play a level of basketball higher than yours and that's how you work on your game. I never was taught how to, coming from the hood, I never was taught how to go in the gym and put the work in, or you gotta put your weight room work in too. Like I got to the league and I wasn't going to the weight room, but you playing 82 games, so my body breaking on down the whole like with you, what was like that?
I had some really good mentors, man. Like, you know, information wasn't, guys wouldn't share information generally, but if you ask, they just may, especially if they know you're cut from the same cloth. Like GP, I asked GP, I mean, he went on and on and on. He loved, and we were playing, we may face them in the playoffs when he was in Seattle, right? But he was still sharing information because of the respect factor of furthering the game. That's always there. You know, Mike wouldn't share information with nobody, you know, but he did with me. Why? Because he knows I'm about that life. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, when I had those mentors giving me guidance, you know, Jerry West is a great mentor of mine. You know, list goes on and on and on, man. And so I had great guidance.
And you just absorbing it.
I just absorbed it. I looked at what they could do, and I was like, shit, I can do it too. That's the work. All right. I'm gonna work harder than they did and see where I end up.
Obviously, we got drafted right when y'all was starting.
One of the first ones.
One of the first ones. So I'm like, they be like, yo, what was? I'm like, dude. The biggest comparison I give people, like when I first had to start checking you and guarding you, I was like, y'all remember the movie Love and Basketball, right? In the beginning when she's like guarding a girl and it's like the camera is like this and she's moving, like I was like, that's like the perspective. I was like, I had that feeling with like 2, maybe 3 different people. Like the first time I got caught in transition, you know, you get caught and J Kidd running down your back and you trying to turn around, but he doing all this. I said, man, I just ran out of bounds one time. I couldn't never get turned around. And I said, I remember that. And I remember AI, fucking, he coming in. You remember he used to jump over the double. Like you had your legs here for the double. He used to jump over. That's why he took the bunny hop out. So I said, then him. I say, I had to play him like 4 or 5 times a year because sometimes we get y'all in preseason. I'm sitting there like, here we go. And like the thing about him, you know me, I'm gonna try and play strong, physical. I'm like, the thing that I got to learn about you year after year is like, all right, he ain't going. He know we not gonna get the fight. So he gonna let you do all this. But the difference is like the difference between you, a T-Mac, a Vince, or whoever, like you was for real gonna try and put 50 on him. Like for real, like nah, I'm not about to just like, okay, like word, that's okay. I'm not gonna say nothing, but it's just about to turn. And now it's gonna be like, here we go, like you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I swear, a couple games, you know, I done made few people like chill out, like I'm gonna get on your ass, like chill out. So you know what I'm saying? Then him, he like, nah, I'm smart enough. We not about to, this not about to happen. Ain't nothing more than like a push gonna happen. Then here come everybody. Then I'm still gonna be here to spray your face off. Though. Like now I'm about to really like go crazy. I used to be like, dog, like this dude shot a left hand shot in the game. When his arm was, I say, he the only person I played against where, okay, like he might do anything. Like for real, anything. And then look at you and do some bullshit after he did it and shoot you a look like, yeah, I did that. Like,
your left hand, like how did your left hand get so good. Like you could shoot a floater. Like you'll go off the wrong leg, left-handed.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you work on that? Like
Just consistency. Like my daughter right now, her left hand is as good as her right around the basket. I got girls on my team that finish better with their left hand than they do with their right hand.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of repetition that we do every day and just working on the left. And there's nothing to be done other than just repetition. Just continue to shoot, get comfortable with it. And I gave them some work to do at home. Like try to eat with your left hand.
Yeah.
Try to write your name with your left hand. Brush your teeth with your left hand. Just so you get comfortable using it. And those are the things I used to do.
I feel like when you got a game, when in your game, you got weapons. I used to call us like superheroes. You know, you put that jersey on and I know he got the right to left crossover. He go hard right. He gonna dunk. Like you kind of go through the categories of weapons that a person got. Your weapons. I never seen a shot that you didn't feel like you couldn't make. And even from the adjustment of you being athletic to you just got to get to your spots and get over the hand. That's like what created the more repertoire that he was grabbing.
The shot that really matters is a pull-up shot because it all comes back to that, right? And so you can do all these moves beforehand, they don't matter. Eventually, you're going to get to a spot, you're going to raise up and shoot. So doing that shot thousands of times got me so comfortable with the shot that I could shoot that shot anytime. There's nothing you can do about it. And if you shoot a shot thousands of times, I can change the trajectory anytime I want. I can flatten it out anytime I want. You can be in my face, it's not going to make a difference because it's on autopilot.
It's on autopilot.
See what I'm saying? So, like, no matter what happens, it transpires here, whether it's a jab step or a crossover or a double, it doesn't matter because when I get to that spot and I raise up and shoot, I've done it thousands of times. That's in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to that shot.
Well, before I got to the league, you know, we was big NBA fans. I didn't see you before I got drafted being the second best player or arguably the best player in the league. You know, I'm definitely a fan because you straight out of high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We straight out of high school. Have to repeat that. But I definitely didn't see you when we played our rookie year and then seeing y'all play, y'all winning that championship that first year. It was no question in my mind that you was the second best player. You couldn't really show if you was the best player because Shaq was so dominant. It was like Shaq beat your team up the whole game, and if the game is close, Kobe gonna end it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like after that year, I think that was the year after you shot the air ball in Utah. After that year, what clicked to be like, I'm the baddest man on the planet?
Had to get stronger. Like the air balls in Utah, it just showed me I needed the strength. You know, in high school you play 30 games max.
Right.
Like, you get to the league, man, you playing 30 games before October come around, man. It's like, and so it wears you down. So it wasn't, I was nervous about the situation, or the shots were off, they were all right on line. They were short. I gotta get stronger. And I'm looking around, I'm looking at Mike, and I'm looking at Mike's physique. Strong.
Yeah.
Right, I'm looking at other guys around the league. They're not. Latrell Sprewell's great player, not strong.
Yeah.
Mitch Richmond has a natural base to him, but I can tell he's not lifting every day. You can look.
Yeah.
Mike is. Scotty is.
Yeah.
Them dudes got 4 or 5 championships by now. I need to do that. Right, and so that's when I started lifting and started getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the adjustment I made because I had the fundamentals, I had the skill. I learned some things technique-wise, defensively. But then my physical abilities caught up to the skill.
One of your moments, my favorite moments of you is you come off the bench for the Lakers and you make the All-Star team. You playing, I think it's Madison Square Garden, and you playing against the Bulls, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the best All-Star games I ever seen in the history of the game. Like, I want to know how you felt about like that moment. You going against your idol who's on the other team. You get a chance to, you thinking that Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and Shaq, they automatically finna make the All-Star game, and you make it too, to be a part of that group. Like, what did that moment like feel?
It was a huge honor. Like when you see the votes tallying up and you're like, wait a minute, I'm a starter on this team. I want to start my own team, you know? And like, it became very serious to me because I didn't want to make it seem like I was just some bubblegum player.
Yeah.
Popularity got me in there. It was like, hold on, no, I can hoop. So I wanted to prove, like, you know, I belong here, sort of thing. And you know, the hype of going up against Mike, it was okay. Let's go. Show me. Like, I've been watching you play my whole life.
Yeah.
Show me. Right. Like, I want to see this. Everybody calling you Black Jesus and all this other crap. Like, you have to show me, man. And I went out there and we went head up. And, you know, I think his respect and appreciation for me really grew that day because you saw on the biggest stage, I didn't shy away from that confrontation. I looked forward to that confrontation.
Yeah, you look forward to
and, you know, George Karl, which, you know, later in years became my motivation when we played against Denver, to never let them win the playoff series because he didn't play me the whole fourth quarter of that game.
I remember that.
See what I'm saying? Because me and Mike went at it, you know, for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, the crowd's waiting for me to get back in there. He benches me the whole fourth.
I remember that.
And it was like, okay.
Every time I see you getting this work,
it's on site. It's on site. So when we played, you know, the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, it was like, hold on, yo, you will never beat me in the playoff series.
all your wings got you to blame for this.
Yeah, it's not
all the wings. It's his fault.
I was so pissed.
So I always respected that you came in as a rook, and you know, as a big name superstar rook type, and you jumped into the dunk contest, and you jumped on that stage. You know what I'm saying, you handled it. You did your thing. What do you think about some of the superstars nowadays is not being in the dunk? Cause you know, like us, we grew up watching
Jordan and
Mike,
Dominique.
The greats was the ones that were putting on the show. And I'm not saying that I don't want to see some of these other boys, because nowadays some of these other boys got crazy hops too. But I'm saying, like, I would like to see our superstars. If you one of those crazy athletes, forget about all that, your brand, or I don't want to lose. And then go put on a show. Like Aaron Gordon and Levine them did, like how MJ and Don. If you a superstar and you got bounce, go do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping, because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive. And, like, you know, fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy, like, they want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
And ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
They gotta turn
the All-Star game needs a little changing. I always loved competing in them. I didn't lose many of them.
Nah,
me and CP used to talk all the time.
You was one of the ones. You took it serious.
Yeah, we went it. Like, I don't think me and CP, when we played together in the All-Star game, I don't think we've ever lost a game.
Yeah.
And we used to look at each other and say, okay,
going serious. They don't want to play, we gonna play.
Fourth quarter, let's go get them.
Yeah.